That's right. Welcome in. Welcome back, folks. Happy Thanksgiving to everybody in Notre Dame land. There's a lot of exciting stuff going on in addition to the Always Irish show. So let's get this out of the way right now. First thing is, in this Thanksgiving spirit, I can't thank all of you guys enough for growing this brand, jumping on Patreon, supporting Mike and I with all of that, coming to the tailgates. I wanting to be a part of this and interact with it and make it grow. I'm so thankful of all of you guys, even the people that just show up to troll, like whatever it is. Hey, dog, go in the other room. She's crying at the door. Go in the other room. I just want to say thank you sincerely to everybody that's made this possible. None of this is possible without your support and wanting this to grow and be a part of it. And I feel very blessed to be kind of that conduit between the Notre Dame fans and getting their voice out there and connecting all these people. So thank you guys. I genuinely mean that. None of this happens without you. It ain't about me. It's about you guys wanting this to be a thing. So thank you for the continued growth and support. As always, you can find the program on YouTube. Do it. Subscribe if you haven't yet. Appreciate it very much. Give the video a thumbs up. That helps John out as well. Notifications on that way you don't miss nothing. Twitter, search bar Always Irish Rat. Always Irish Inc. Emails alwaysirishnd@gmail.com. Audio only anywhere you want it. You can get it anywhere you get your podcasts. If you don't want to see my face, nobody blames you for that. Notre Dame on SI. Read all about it. Articles every day. Patreon.com/Always Irish. Link in the description. Join us if you haven't yet. Appreciate everybody who's there. And if this turns into a playoff push, that's going to be a whole different ball of wax over there on Patreon. Thank you, guys. So let's stake out kind of where we're at here. Thanksgiving theme. This is my genuine take on Notre Dame's playoff situation. Given the fact that you lost 2 of your 3 biggest games on your schedule, I'm very thankful Notre Dame's in the position it's in. Okay? I'm very thankful. Luckily, the playoff committee views Notre Dame very favorably. Whatever batch of metrics and whatever philosophies they've been going with have been pretty pro Notre Dame. If they would have just said in the first ranking, yeah, Miami and Notre Dame have the same record and Miami beat them, they're ahead of Notre Dame, whatever, you would just have to live with it. You really couldn't complain that much. Win the game. That's not how they're viewing it. And they're taking a more holistic look. And I'm telling you this, even these people that hate Notre Dame, there is no way you could watch the way Notre Dame's playing and say they're not a playoff team and not a top 10 team in the country right now. You can hate Notre Dame all you want, argue the playoffs wrong because of the head-to-head or whatever. Even if you hate Notre Dame, you cannot honestly, as a college football fan, watch that team play and say it is not one of the most well-rounded teams playing the best football at the end of the year, and they're one of the best top 10 teams. They just are. So this is going to just be an interesting experiment because you're going to have all the games Friday while I'm in line to see Santa and shopping in Chicago traffic and everything else. Man, that's tough. You have all those games Friday, then you have all the other games Saturday, and then we kick off at like midnight, whatever. You're going to have a really good idea on exactly what's on the line for Notre Dame by the time we get to kickoff. You're going to know whether there were a couple of upsets and Notre Dame's playing for a hosting seed, or you're going to find out, a bunch of these games didn't go the way we think, but what it's doing is making the final at-large bids have a lot more contenders in there. Michigan beats Ohio State, 2 lost Michigan with the win over number 1. What does that do to the bottom part of that at-large or whatever? So you got multiple outcomes here even before you think about Notre Dame and Stanford. You're either going to be playing for a home seed, it's going to look real tight at the bottom, or maybe it stays pretty much the way it is. And you feel like if Notre Dame wins by a lot, plays good, they're probably going to be in. And maybe 9 and you're on the road at Oklahoma or whatever. That's the other thing. I would love a home game against a Southern team. That would be the ideal scenario for me. Probably a home game against a team that hates that weather. Um, I'm not going to complain if Notre Dame's on the road. I would just, you're lucky to be where you're at. And I don't care if you're on the road or not. Go win a road game. Notre Dame's done it before. You went to A&M and won a year ago. Like, go on the road and win a game. So that's kind of where we're at. But man, there are so many games that have to be played, and it is rivalry week. Anything could happen. If one of those outcomes doesn't go the way people think, it could mess up all of this. Who Notre Dame plays, if they're hosting, all of it. You just need one of these goofy things with a one-loss team that could redo all this. So it's super exciting. And if you're a Notre Dame fan, it doesn't get any better than this. Your game matters nationally. It's a big damn deal for you and everybody else. What happens in your final game? And you got a guy playing for the Heisman Trophy on this team at the same time. That is Notre Dame football's history personified in a title chase, and have an Heisman caliber guy on your team. Oh, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. Now, as for this Stanford game, 4-win team, whatever, I'm telling you, I'm not going to say they're better than their record, but they don't quit. They're not as bad as Syracuse. Like, they have 4 wins, but like, I mean, God bless Andrew Luck. I look at Andrew Luck as having like the purest intentions ever. Doesn't Andrew Luck just seem like the straightest shooter of all time? He's almost like a 12-year-old innocent kid in a grown man's body. Like, I just like the guy. And I wish there was just a little more support and more people who cared about Stanford football, I guess. But here's where I'm at. And it may be a mistake. And it may be a mistake by me. I'm over here writing articles about, do you change what you would normally do to try and push getting Love the 132 yards he needs for the Notre Dame rushing record? And hope he does it in 8 or 10 or 12 carries and get him out of the game like last week? I'm asking questions like, if you're Notre Dame staff, how do you balance wanting to impress this committee with a big lopsided win, but also not risk your guys getting hurt for a playoff run in a game that you already have in the bag? What is that balance? Those are the things I've been writing and talking about. And you know what I haven't been writing and talking about? You better just first and foremost make sure that you are ready to play this football game. I do not want to make the mistake of getting ahead of myself and talking about blowouts and all these gaudy numbers for Love and when do you pull your starters and all this stuff. You better respect your opponent and take them more seriously than I have in my writings, quite frankly. And I want to be open and honest about that. But on the flip side, Notre Dame's playing football so efficiently right now, I don't think it's crazy to think of them covering that 32.5, whatever spread, and blowing these guys out. Notre Dame's playing as good as football as anybody in the country right now. Is it a perfect team? No. Is it a flawed team? Yes. Do you have injuries? Yes. Can you make a field goal? Probably not. Short yardage. Like, it's not a perfect team. But overall, Notre Dame is playing as good a football as anybody in the country right now. They are. And the committee sees that too. So that's where I'm at here. Listen, the reality is this Stanford offense, it averages 18.5 points a game throughout the year. 18.5. Okay. Notre Dame's defense playing lights out. Notre Dame's defense playing great. They average under 19 points a game. It is not crazy to think that Notre Dame should defensively dominate these guys. The other thing is, Jack Sullivan, one of his duties on Patreon is to watch all of the opponent's other games and give us a detailed personnel breakdown and tendency breakdown of the opponents. And Jack does a really diligent, good job of watching all these teams' games, coming up with some themes. He said to me, they want to run the ball up the middle and get 4 yards, and that's what they want their offense to be. They got a tight end that's kind of dangerous, went off against Pitt, but generally speaking, they want to try and run the ball between the tackles and gain 4 yards to keep it moving. Bro, that's tough combination against Notre Dame right now. If that's what you want to do and that's what they're showing on tape, on film, that's a tough way to beat Notre Dame, especially when you're Stanford's personnel. So make of that what you will, but that matchup favors Notre Dame big time. If that's how they want to play offense, that's not a good match for Notre Dame, or to beat Notre Dame. So I don't know, man. Defensively, it's a little interesting. Like, I don't know. They give up an average of 27 a game. I feel like they've improved defensively a little bit over the course of the year. Linebacker Matt Rose is by far their best defender. He's got double the amount of tackles as the number 2 guy. He's at 97. The second tackler on the team is at 52. That guy is their stud there and on the defense in the middle part of the defense. So I want to be respectful of the opponent, but when you look at some of the matchups and you look at how efficiently Notre Dame's playing lately, man, it would be, I'm not expecting no Syracuse, you're up 23-0 before you touch the ball. It'd be real nice if you got a 14-0, 17-0 lead in the first quarter. 17's a little dangerous because there's field goal involved there. But if you could do something like that, man, it would be a great start to this. But you got to respect the opponent. Difficult time to start a game. Difficult road trip out west. Empty stadium other than the Notre Dame people and the Stanford kids' parents. It's about all that's going to be there. This team's got to create their own energy for this one. Their own little spark. Know what's on the line. Earlier in the week, somebody said this could be a trap game for Notre Dame. No way. They have a Heisman Trophy and a playoff appearance on the line. There's no way this is a trap. This team knows they have fought back in 9 wins to get into this position, and they know they're not dropping it now. To come this far and fall off, I do not see it. If Notre Dame wins, I don't care if it's 2 a.m. or not. I'm going live, and we're going to celebrate. Anybody who's up, we're going to celebrate that run. Notre Dame should win this going away. Hopefully book their spot in the playoff, and we could relax a little bit. But there's a lot of moving pieces here. This could get dicey for Notre Dame, or it could look real juicy. This is why we love this time of the year. Let's see what happens. Happy Thanksgiving. Go Irish.